Welcome to Francesco's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to make a very famous French Quebec recipe, du Creton. And it's delicious, spicy, and lots of flavors, and easy to make, just takes a little bit of time and a few different steps. Now, you're gonna love this. I got a special guest today for you guys. Very, very, very famous podcaster. Everybody knows her. Welcome, Days.
Da, da. Hi, everybody.
My sous chef today. She's gonna help us out doing le Creton. And we're gonna start this. And as we're going, and we're gonna have to grind some pork, I'm gonna explain all the recipe and the steps, and we're gonna get this together. We also do have Gatsby, who's just off the camera. She's kind of a little camera shy today, but we'll just sneak her in. I don't know if you see her now, but she'll probably try to get some of this neat, delicious food that we're gonna be cooking. All right, so let's get Daisy set up here. So Daisy, you're just gonna be like grinding this stuff down.
Okay.
It's the most important task of this recipe is to be able to grind the pork. So
I can grind, don't worry.
Oh yeah, let's go. So the recipe, there's not too many, well, there's a lot of ingredients in terms of small spices and stuff like that. But the main ingredient is some ground pork. Now, it is cheaper for me to buy whatever's on sale. I was able to get some nice tenderloin, and also got some nice pork belly, which is not smoked, so it's not baconed. But we're going to be grinding about 2 pounds of this. So I have about 650 grams of the pork tenderloin, and I have about 250 grams of the pork belly, which gives me about 900 grams to 2 pounds. So let's do this, Daisy, so you can, very easy motions this way.
Okay.
Nice and close. You can use this to shove
All
it down.
right.
So the recipe is not complex. We're going to be grinding some ground pork. Yeah, just let the machine go for it. That's it.
Okay, that's not
All
too
right.
hard, guys. It's really...
So why do I have the pork bellies? Because we do want still a fairly amount of fat to be able to combine when we put this recipe in the fridge, okay? So there's some good step here. You can always, like I said, you can always get it already grinded down. You just don't want it to be too lean, because you do want a fairly good contents of fat, usually about 60% of beef and 30% of fat. Now, once this ground beef is done, once the ground pork is done, it is very easy recipe. So I have my cast iron here. What I will do, I'll put 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 finely chopped onion, and then my 2 pounds of the pork tenderloin here, the grinded tenderloin that we're doing. All right, so it is pretty good and juicy. Hopefully it doesn't make too much of a mess here. Keep going. Okay, we'll push it in.
All right.
We'll clean it all up after, okay?
All right.
So there's a lot of procedures, a lot of stuff. Maybe it's a little bit more messy than we expected, but I like it when it's fresh and it's delicious. Keep going, and then it'll push it will push the juice out.
Let's go. Okay.
So and then it will push the juice out also, which is a lot of the good fat. All right.
Okay.
So we'll just go this. So
Keep it going.
once I put the butter, the onions, you kind of cook. Whoa.
It's okay.
This is the good stuff. We're gonna start the cast iron here with 1 tablespoon of onion, 1 cup of finely chopped onion. Mix it well. You don't want to roast the onions. You just want to be able to kind of soften it up a bit. Then I'm gonna put the 2 pounds of the ground pork that we just grounded here. Mix it up a little bit, a couple of minutes. 1 cup of milk. And then you're going to put all the leftover ingredients. So I'm going to put 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of ground. I have here homemade breadcrumbs. So I had just had a couple leftover toast, leftover hot dog bun, which kind of dried up, which is perfect. And then just grind it up nice and fine. Don't use the store-bought breadcrumbs because it has a lot of seasoning. And might as well, since you have leftover bread, just do it like that. 1 tablespoon of bacon fat. And now this is where all the good spices comes, okay? So 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of Jamaican allspice, 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, 1/8 teaspoon of rosemary, 1/8 teaspoon of thyme, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a little bit freshly ground pepper on the top. So now you cook that at a very low heat. You want to be able to simmer and get the flavors in. You're gonna bring the heat down. You don't want to overboil it too fast. You want to be able to simmer it nice and slowly. You mix that up, cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you're gonna taste it. It's cooked, so you'll be able to taste it and see if there's something missing. Sometimes I like to add just a little bit more pepper or a little bit more of, some cinnamon or anything like that that you want to make it flavorful for yourself and your family. Sometimes a little bit of salt too. And then you're gonna put it in the fridge for about 2-3 hours or overnight. You can also do small portions and freeze it and then eat it whenever it's available. It's a great recipe, easy. And look, we're almost done here. How is this experience, Days?
I'm getting jacked.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oop, that's my foot. That's all good. Oh,
Oh,
Gatsby's
hey,
here.
Gats.
What do you think, Gats? Gatsby, you like this?
How's our mascot? Our mascot Gatsby makes an appearance. She's all sass today.
Not too impressed. She's like, I want
She's
some of
like,
that.
why am I not getting some of that?
All right. So this is the recipe, guys. So have my ground pork that we just did. Got 1 tablespoon of butter. Put that in my cast iron here. Okay. 1 finely chopped onion. My heat right now is at high. I just want to be able to quickly caramelize these onions. You don't want to roast them. You just want to be able to get a little bit more translucent. I say mix it really well at the beginning here because you don't want it to burn. As soon as the onions burn, you'll have to restart this step here. All right, that's good enough. So it's only been like a few minutes there. So now we're gonna add the 2 pounds of ground pork that we just did. All right. Put that in there. Just give it a quick mix. All right, give it a quick mix here just to break it up a bit. So you can wait a few minutes, but I like to do it right away to try to get as much of the fat flavors. You're gonna add 1 tablespoon of, or that's about a teaspoon of bacon fat. Okay, put it right in there now. You're gonna add 1 cup of milk. Oh, this is like leaking everywhere. 1 cup of milk. All right. Give it a quick stir. One cup of breadcrumbs. Now here's the great spices. 1/8 tablespoon of cinnamon. 1/8 tablespoon of Jamaican spice. 1/8 tablespoon of nutmeg. 1 tablespoon of cloves. 1 tablespoon of rosemary. 1/8 teaspoon of thyme. Sorry, all of those are 1/8 teaspoon, okay? Sorry about that. And then my salt is here. I got about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna bring the heat down a bit, and some finely ground pepper. Now you're gonna mix that up, okay? You can already smell the flavors already. Okay. Creton is really, really good on bread, for sandwiches, or just an appetizer to put on top of crackers. Okay. So as I have all the ingredients here all mixed up, I will just bring the heat down to as low as I can. Since I'm cooking with a cast iron, your heat doesn't have to be as high because it disperses really, really well, the flavors and the heat. So I'm gonna mix that up for a few more minutes. And then what I will do, I will put the lid on, so you're trying to keep as much of the flavor and the juices cooking here. Okay, I'm gonna bring the heat down as low as this thing can go. If I have to, I will transfer it to a different one. So as low as I can. You can already smell the flavors. I'm gonna cover this up. About 45 minutes to an hour. You're gonna open it and mix it once in a while, just to be able to break up those big pieces. You don't wanna be chunky. Welcome back, everybody. It's been about an hour. I've been mixing and stirring this Creton, so it is cooked. It is a little chunky, but that's okay because we're gonna be doing some grinding.
Wait.
What?
You have to stop because guess what, everybody?
What's up?
We have a special guest today.
Hey, everybody.
Ta-da-da.
What?
Wow.
Chris!
What do we have going on here?
So I have Creton. Do you remember Creton from your
My
family
grandmother.
recipe? We're gonna do some grinding and then we're gonna mix it all up and then
Okay.
put it in the fridge to freeze it.
Why do you put it in the fridge?
So it's better because of the flavor. So the fat will absorb and solidify a lot more. And we'll also use the croutons that we've added. It will make it nice and chunky, like a pâté, they call it in French in Paris. But Creton is very, very French-Canadian recipe, which is also from Montreal and everywhere around that. So
That sounds delicious.
So right about half of it, you can pass me the thing, I forgot yep. It's a little hot.
Yeah.
Safety first.
It's right out of the oven, you guys. It's
Make sure that it doesn't overfill.
Wow.
Oh, so you're gonna mix some blended and some not blended.
Correct, because I mean, some people like it to blend it all. They wanted more of a softer.
Like a texture.
The texture.
Hey,
But I like it a
Wow,
little
why
chunky.
not?
You can put it in a lot of different containers. I like to use some of these little bread containers. The little containers like this with some lids is really, really good because that way you can put it in the freezer for the next week, next month at the party. Do you ever have to? Oh yeah, we're going to a birthday party or we're going to get together gathering. You'll have something ready to bring. Okay.
So is it like fresh frozen?
It's like fresh frozen.
Right?
Fresh frozen.
Fresh cooked frozen. That's how it is.
So how long do we wait before we can eat it?
So usually we wait about 3 hours to let it cool down so the fat will get harder and render with the
Interesting.
breadcrumbs and everything like that.